What's good, party people? It's your boy Tim back at it again with another vid, and today we got a chill type vid today. Um, I had checked my list to see, what all I could do to record. You feel me? Because usually I have a list in my notes of like vid ideas or just stuff that I could do, and all I had left was really like a mix of like embarrassing stories, right? And so I didn't want to. Well, at first, I was planning on doing them one at a time. So basically, one video for each story. But then I'm like, it was a combination of thoughts because one was like, some of these stories gonna be short, and those vids probably gonna be like a smooth 5 minutes. You feel me? I mean, I guess that could, well, nah, yeah, smooth 5 minutes. So I was like, why don't I just do the rest of them on one vid? You feel me? And then if I do recall any other stories that, what I mean, or any other situations that I might have been through, uh, I'll just go ahead and write them, or no, well, yeah, I'll just go ahead and write them down and, you know, go ahead and do them. You feel me? Go ahead and tell y'all. So, yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You feel me? Share with all your people so we could all have a good time. Another thing, I was actually intending on doing this while, you know, out, on my walk. But I was like, because the way it's looking right now, dark clouds. It's not raining right now, but it looked like it's about to. So just to be safe, I don't want to be caught out in the rain again. You feel me? Uh I don't know. That might be cool. Nah, anyways, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stay in on the inside today. Go ahead and get this vid out the way, and then yeah, hopefully by next or I can record my walk next week on Friday. Then we'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, on to the first one. All right. So I think I got like three small little embarrassing moments, little, what I mean, times where I was just like, yo, like, yo, what is going on, bro? And it's funny now, but back then, nah, I was. But anyways, yeah. So bet, cool. Which one I'm gonna start with? I guess we'll start from the earliest on down. Bet. So this is when I'm in elementary school, right? I'm in elementary school, and uh I'm in elementary school, and usually I think around that time we only had one class, like one. Am I tweaking? Was it one class? It's been a minute. I think it was like one teacher, and then yeah, something like that, right? So we was in that class, right? And yeah, because we learned pretty much all our subjects in that class. Yeah, so it was yeah. Anyway, so yeah, bet. So I'm in class, right? And bro, bored out of my mind, bro. I'm just sitting there, and I'm a little kid, bro. I'm usually out of all my brothers, I would say I was the good one. And what I mean by that is I got in trouble the least amount of times, but I still got in trouble though. And usually it would be for the stupidest reasons, bro. Like, bro, like this one for example. So I'm bored out of my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here. But obviously, I can't just, I can't just dip off out the front door. Luckily, the way this room was set up that we were in our home room, so it had to be other classes we were going to. Now that I'm thinking about it, so yeah, bet cool. Yeah, because I had a okay, bet cool. So yeah, bet it's been a minute, so I gotta think. Yeah, so bet. So the good thing about my how my homeroom was set up was there was a front door, and that door was the door that we all came through at the start of class. So like it's a homeroom class, so that was uh that was the first class we went to. Pulled up there, pulled up through the front door. The back door was in case of emergencies. If it was a a fire drill, we would go out that door, right? And usually, if that were to happen, I was one of the first ones to go out that door because I was sitting in the back. You feel me? Uh, so the teacher's distracted, teaching the lesson. All of my peers paying attention to the lesson. I'm in the back trying my hardest to be as quiet as possible, right? And so my planning was I'ma sneak out this back door. Then I'm gonna go ahead and navigate my way throughout the school. And luckily I've been there long enough to know where everything is, right? So, but everybody else don't know that, right? So I end up I end up doing it, bro. I end up, quietly slipping out the back door. Nobody noticed. And I'm walking the halls of the school, right? Now, the reason why this was kind of like a scary feeling for me was the fact that uh during that time or in elementary school, us kids, whenever we did, whenever we did do something, like whenever we would leave the class, it was like the whole class. Like we had a line leader, we had a caboose, everything, bro. Like, um, so really I wasn't supposed to be out. You feel me? I wasn't supposed to be out there at all, right? And so walk in the halls, somehow I get outside the school. Uh and then like the way everything is set up is like there's this gate that's usually closed, but there's this gate and like a black gate. Then I got to that gate, and then behind that gate is the whole school, right? So I get to that gate, and it's open, like wide open, not locked at all. So I'm like, you know what, cool. I end up going out that gate, but like as soon as I get outside of that gate, you feel me? Some hit my mind, and I'm like, oh, see, my planning was I was gonna go home. You feel me? I was gonna try my best to go home, right? But the thing is, at that age, I ain't know how to get home, bro. So I was just, I was sitting there for like a smooth 5 minutes thinking, like, where am I gonna go? And then plus if I get lost, my parents ain't gonna know where I am. Like, you know what I mean? It was a bad scene, bro. Um, so uh So bet. So I made the plan to okay, bet. Now it's Operation Sneak Back In. Some type of way. I'm gonna need to sneak back into my classroom and so on and so on, right? So but that plan got flagged down because as soon as I walked back into the gate, one of my other teachers, I think her name was Miss Jones. That's crazy. Yeah, so one of my other teachers pulled up and was like, Tim, what are you doing out here? And I'm like, oh, I was looking for the restroom. The only lie I can come up with, I was like, oh, I'm just looking for the restroom. And she was like, outside? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, look for the restroom, right? And then she was like, come with me to the office. I'm like, bet. You feel me? I just went. So I went to the office. They end up calling my parents. Uh, and even while they're there, I'm still keeping up with the same lie. I'm like, I was looking for the restroom, bro. And I mean, obviously they didn't believe me. And so I end up, I don't even think I got suspended. I think they just, wait, did I get suspended? No, I don't think I got suspended at all. I was just like, I guess I finished the rest of that day out and then, you know, got, so yeah, uh, bet. So the other one, oh yeah. So the earliest to the so bet cool. So this next one was in elementary school as well, right? Uh, not the same one. I think I went. Well, the first one is not really. It's not a school no more. That one got shut down a long time ago. So bet. But I think this second one is still a school, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to drive by there just to see. But anyways, so this is still an elementary school. This is a different elementary school, right? Uh, yeah. So bet cool. We had lunch, right? Same type of timing. We move with the class everywhere. If we change classes, we move as a class. If we go to lunch, we move as a class, so on, so forth, right? So the whole class was at lunch, right? We was at lunch, and I usually sit with my home, or I usually sat with my homie at the time. Well, I ain't gonna, yeah. I usually sat with my homie at the time, right? And we were having a conversation. I don't know how we got to this point in the conversation, right? But he was like, "Yo, do you like anybody here?" And I'm like, "Huh?" Because usually that's stuff that we don't talk about. So I was just, or back then, right? And so he was like, "Yo, do you like anybody here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Tell me." And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No, I'm not finna tell you, bro." Um, and almost like most, uh, so like most of the lunch period, he was asking me, bro, like he was like, bruh, I'm not gonna tell nobody, bro. Just tell me. And I'm like, no, bro, just let it go. Just let it go. Uh, so we end up going to recess after lunch, right? So we go to recess, and uh, you know, having fun at recess, boom, 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 boom. Even then, buddy asking me like, bro, who do you like, bro? I'm not telling you, bro. I'm definitely not telling you, right? Recess end up ending, and we all get in the single file line again, and he on the same type of time. As soon as we get in the line to go back to our classrooms, or room, he end up asking me again, like, bruh, I ain't gonna tell nobody, bruh. Who do you like? I end up saying it. I ain't gonna drop no names or nothing, so that cool. So I end up telling him. I was like, yeah, I like old girl. And he was like, word? Soon as he said that, walked straight up to where she was, told her. And see, the thing is, I ain't even had to hear nothing. You feel me? To I ain't even had to hear like I don't even dang. What am I trying to say? Uh, so after I tell him, he end up walking straight up to where she is. I guess he told her, because all like whole time after that, bro, all I heard was this loud like scream out of nowhere. I'm like, I mean, obviously I can't do it right now, but like, you know, crazy. All I heard was this loud scream, and I'm like, well, that ruined it, bro. Once again, after that, never talked to him again, never talked to her again. I was just on my lonely for the rest of that school year, uh, which is crazy. But yeah, that's why I don't tell you. That's why you don't tell everybody your business, bro. Like for real though. That's why you don't tell everybody your business. But bet what was the third one? Third one. Uh, dang. If I could think. Hold on. I might have to cut the clip off. Hold on. Let me see. All right, we back. Anyways, so yeah, I said it was in order, but now that I'm thinking about it, all these specific ones happened at elementary school, right? Because well, I got two that happened at the one elementary school that I was at that got shut down, and then that one that I had just got done saying was at the last elementary. Yeah, I believe that's the last elementary school that I was in, right? So that matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, there's way more stories coming up, but we're not gonna do them all here because it's almost. I think that first clip was 13 minutes, so yeah, I guess I'll just do this one and then yeah. So, but which is crazy now that I'm thinking about it. I was telling you, memory is trash. But yeah, so it's the same elementary school that got shut down, right? So usually how it works is, you either get dropped off by bus or you get dropped off by your parents. At that time, we got dropped off by our parents, right? And I don't know what specific day it was. I think it might have been the first day that we were supposed to be there. Actually, I don't think it was. Nah, it wasn't. It wasn't because we already had uniforms in there. So, well, I don't know. So yeah, So it must have been a special occasion or something because usually we're not in the cafeteria area with our parents. It was just us. You feel me? Uh, Everybody would meet up in the gym. I think, uh, if I'm not mistaken, that's crazy. It's been a minute, but yeah. But anyways, we were in the cafeteria, right? And our parents was with us, so it was my mom, uh, and I was chilling with my bros, eating breakfast. Now that I think about it, that's crazy. I don't remember anything about that specifically. But anyways, so mind you, this is not so the second story that I ended up saying that was at a different elementary school. I went to Copeland, MLK, Converse. Yeah, three elementary schools. I went to three elementary schools: Copeland, Converse, and MLK. I forgot about MLK, and there was some stuff that went down at that school too. Not a lot, but some stuff. Now that I'm thinking about it, so yeah, I'll probably add that to the list. But probably be just like. But anyways, yeah. So I was at Copeland, the one that got shut down, right? Um, so we in the cafeteria, and uh, that's anyways. It was another school too. It was four anyway, but yeah. Um, in the cafeteria, minding my business. I'm eating food with my brothers, you know what I mean? And I'm at the point where I'm, drinking my chocolate milk, bro. Crazy. I'm old, bro. That's wild. I'm getting distracted, but yeah, I'm now that I'm reminiscing, them chocolate milks used to hit, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. Uh, anyways, so, you know, drinking my chocolate milk, you feel me? And all of a sudden, one of my or one of my the, trying to think once again, no names, right? But I had somebody that I was feeling at the time, right? Telling you, that I was feeling at the time that I was trying to be with. Yeah, me as a little kid trying to be with somebody. But anyway, I mean, understandable. But yeah, I like somebody at then, by then, at that time, right? And she had passed by, and we was cool. I think we was cool. I don't know, but like passed by, she was like, "Hey Tim," just simple, "Hey," nothing too, what I mean, bro, I'm talking about, and I was like mid sip on my chocolate milk, right? And so whole time she said that, oh, and maybe I should say this before the rest of the, or maybe I'll just say this and then so back cool. So she had passed by and she was like, "Hey Tim," right? I was gone, bro. I was like, once again, I was mid sip into the chocolate milk, ended up dumping the whole thing on myself, bro. So it was kind of like this, right? I'm mid sip. She walking past, right? She like, "Hey Tim, hey," and then you just gone. You feel me? Just go, you feel me? And that's crazy. My mom saw that. My brother saw that. They was all gone, bro. I was like, crazy. You feel me? Uh, but yeah, I grew up. I grew up as a shy kid. I grew up as a shy kid. Was the quiet kid in school. You feel me? Uh, Never really talked to nobody. All the friends that I ended up making throughout that time, they came up to talk to me. Or all the friends that I made from that point all the way up to high school, bro. Like they came to talk to me. That's how I made my friends. You feel me? Uh, but yeah, you feel me? It was a bad scene, bro. Which is crazy because I ended up seeing her again at like when we were older, bro. Like I think at some point we lived in the same neighbor, either lived in the same neighborhood or lived like in the same area, I believe. But yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that's about it. That's all. I'm gonna cut that off right there. Uh, now that I'm thinking about it, when I was reminiscing about the elementary schools I was going to, it was actually four. It was Copeland. Then it was one called, I believe, Walker, I think, or something. But it was like an extension of Copeland. I forgot the name. Then it was MLK. Then the last one was Converse. Converse Elementary, right? So bad. Um, Nothing really happened at Walker. Now that I'm thinking about it, but MLK, most def. Middle schools. I went to Woodlake, or no, just one Woodlake Hills Middle School. A lot of stuff happened there too. Judson, other than the one that I told y'all in the past about me stealing. Make sure y'all check out that vid. Uh, I don't really think. Oh, and that the game where I had that little accident. I can't really think of nothing else. Um, but yeah. So I'm gonna cut it off right there. Maybe next time I think about doing a story time, it'll probably be that just the rest of them. I ain't really trying to do no more like single story time vids because all the other ones that I can think of probably not gonna be that long. So I'm probably just gonna compile them all in one uh vid. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of this day on the inside because I forgot the percentage of rain, but who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of this day. You feel me? Y'all make sure y'all do too. Peace.